Chairman Conyers, Ranking Member Smith, and members of the committee, I thank you for the opportunity to testify here today. Since I appeared before this committee almost 6 months ago, I've become even better acquainted with the talented and dedicated professionals at the Justice Department and with the work that they do, and have come to appreciate that much more deeply their service to our nation. I've now been Attorney General for slightly more than 8 months. During that time, there have been moments of disagreement with members of the committee, as there always will be. There are policy initiatives that the Department supports that some members vigorously oppose, and policy initiatives that some of you support that the Department opposes. There are also situations where the interests of the executive branch and of the legislature are in tension. This is not, as some people have suggested, evidence of a broken or a flawed political system. It's part of the genius of the design of our Constitution, which embodies a robust separation of powers. Although these tensions will never disappear, there are many areas of agreement in which we can work together on behalf of our common clients, the American people. I'd like to outline briefly 2 areas that I will focus on during the 6 months remaining in this administration. First, with the first post-2001 transition looming, we must take every step to ensure that custody and responsibility for our nation's security is transferred smoothly to a new set of caretakers. That means putting national security measures on a sound institutional footing so that the next Attorney General and the new administration will have in place what they need to continue to assure the nation's safety. 2 weeks ago, Congress took a vital step in passing the FISA Amendments Act of 2008, bipartisan legislation that will give our intelligence professionals critical long-term authorities to monitor foreign intelligence targets located overseas. Earlier this week, I called upon Congress to take another step by passing legislation to address the questions about detainees unresolved by the Supreme Court's recent decision in Boumediene versus Bush. Congress and the executive branch are in a far better position than the courts to create practical procedures and rules to govern the habeas hearings required by the Supreme Court, procedures and rules that would both give the detainees what they are due, what process they are due, and accommodate the grave national security concerns involved. In my speech earlier this week, I outlined 6 principles that should guide such legislation, and I look forward to working with you and your colleagues on both sides of the aisle and in both houses of Congress to address these important issues promptly. Second, as everyone knows, the election season is upon us. Although state and local governments have primary responsibility for administering elections, the Justice Department must make every effort to help assure that the elections run as smoothly as possible, and equally important, that the American people have confidence in the electoral process. The Department will maintain a significant presence throughout the election season through both outreach and monitoring. We will work closely with civil rights groups and state and local officials to identify and solve problems. We will publicize telephone numbers and websites through which people can bring potential issues to our attention. And on Election Day, we will deploy hundreds of observers and monitors around the country. These steps will supplement our ongoing efforts both to enforce laws, including the Voting Rights Act, designed to guarantee access of all Americans to the ballot, and to enforce laws, including those prohibiting voter fraud and campaign finance abuse, intended to safeguard the integrity of the voting process. All these efforts are essential in ensuring that elections reflect the will of the people and in maintaining the confidence of all Americans in our system of government. In all of this, we will be driven by what the law and the facts require, and only by that. In fact, I've said many times, both to members of the public and to Department employees, that we must pursue all of our cases in that manner. I have also said many times that we must hire our career people without regard for improper political considerations. And I have acted, and I will continue to act, to ensure that those words are translated into reality. I am well aware of the allegations that politics has played an inappropriate role at the Justice Department. Too many of those allegations were borne out in a recent report by the Department's Offices of the Inspector General and Professional Responsibility on hiring for the Honors Program and for the Summer Law Intern Program. Even before I became Attorney General last fall, however, the Justice Department had taken many significant steps to remedy the problems that existed. I have since taken several additional steps, and we will continue to take any and all steps that are warranted. It is absolutely crucial that the American people have complete confidence in the propriety of what we do, and I will work to make certain that they can have such confidence. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I thank you for the opportunity to make these remarks, and I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you very much.